Alright, people. I'm sitting here in my hotel room right now. I'm on the road for business. And I'm at a Crown Plaza. And what the Crown Plaza does, like I know, of course, many other hotels do, is they leave out the newspaper. Okay? By your door in the morning. And usually, the vast majority of the time, 99% of the time, I don't even pick the thing up. I'll just leave it sit there or toss it right in the garbage, but it really doesn't matter to me. At the very least, every now and then what I'll do is at least just pick it up and read the headlines on the front page. So I picked up the newspaper that's sitting there today, Monday, July 9th. And on the front page, right on the right column above the fold, they have an article that says, States restrict welfare buying. And what I'll do is I'll put this on the Facebook page also, and I'll put the link to the article right underneath it. And what it says is recipients can't use public aid for booze and gambling. Now, a couple issues here. Number one is once you start educating yourself about economics, especially Austrian economics and how that explains what's going on, you really take a view on any issues related to economics that's drastically different than the majority of Americans. The vast majority of people don't have any idea how the economy works. Couple issues with this article, okay? It states right in the article, let me just read you the first paragraph or two, then I'll kind of summarize. It says, more states are enacting or considering laws that prohibit people who get welfare cash from spending on liquor, cigarettes, strip clubs, gambling, and guns. Laws that even supporters say are difficult to enforce. And then what the article does is it goes on to say which states have laws passed, trying to restrict welfare buying. And then it talks about how many people are on welfare and how many receipts they've gotten from people taking out money at strip clubs and liquor stores and casinos and all sorts of things like that. That's not the real issue here, I think, what caught my mind, or caught my eye, I guess you'd say. What I looked at is I go, okay, let's assume for a minute you want to restrict welfare buying. And you'd see this a lot of times from the right, and they'll complain, and I'll see these, I've seen them numerous times where it says something like, we should drug test people on welfare because they'll say, well, I need to be drug tested to make the money. You should at very least be drug tested to receive the money. And I get the point they're trying to make. Okay, we've created a moral hazard with welfare years and years and years ago, and there's really no way around it right now without drastically changing the system, but that's not something they'd be fixed overnight. Nonetheless, if you restrict what people buy, okay, if you try to restrict their welfare spending, great, you can do that all you want, but here's the problem, okay, and I'll mention this in a different video at some point that I do, but a book I recently read that's fantastic is called Economics in One Lesson by Henry Hazlitt, alright, and I highly suggest to anyone out there, you take a look at the book, pick it up and read it. It's not real long. You can get it on Kindle. You can probably even get it from Mises.org. I don't even know if they have it free up there. They may. But I bought it on Kindle. I like the ebook format, so that's where I picked it up. The issue that they miss, okay, and again, this is just usually righties trying to pander to their supporters about, hey, look, we're trying to do something. All these people are receiving welfare. We should, at the very least, make sure they're not using it for, I guess, these sin expenses, however you want to call them. Strip clubs, casinos, cigarettes, liquor, that type of stuff. But let's say for a second that you could restrict every single person's purchase on welfare. Let's say you gave them, a debit card, and they couldn't withdraw money from it. They had to use it at stores for purchases and whatever. They couldn't use it at ATMs. They couldn't make purchases for liquor or alcohol, stuff like that. Let's say you even could do that. Okay, here's the problem. The problem is, if you give them free money to use, the other money that they have, they'll just use that money for the purchases of liquor, cigarettes, girls, gambling, whatever they want to do. All right, people on welfare, you can make a certain amount of money before you get kicked off or whatever, or money you do get now doesn't need to be spent on your actual necessities. Okay, this is what Henry Hazlitt calls in his book, not actually looking at the full picture, not examining how an economic decision affects everyone over the long haul. Okay, so by giving people this money and allowing them to use the money, what you're doing is you're saying, all right, this is your free money, the money you actually bring in, you earn, you use that on your sin taxes, or I shouldn't say sin taxes, use that for whatever you like, but don't worry, we're going to give you money anyway. Now, if you weren't giving these people any welfare at all, well, what are they going to do? They're going to use whatever money they make to pay for the absolute necessities that they need. All right, and that's the big issue. The issue is that these people don't look at the big picture over the long run for everyone. And the issue here with the people on welfare is you can pass whatever law you want. It's just simply political nonsense. Because the money they make, they're going to spend how they wish. And if you give them free money, then they can use their own cash, their own income, to spend on these extra items that the government is trying to prevent them from using the welfare money on. So really, what caught my eye on this is that it's just political nonsense. And if you really want to look at an economic issue, like I said, first of all, I suggest highly you take a look at Henry Hazlitt's book, Economics in One Lesson, read that thing up front to back, then you'll take a look at the newspaper like I do, and you'll pick this up and go, you know what, that's just a bunch of BS. None of it matters. It's just white noise. It's just blabber from political talking heads that want to make it look like they do something. Okay? Remember, folks, the government is bad for you.